Hi, class. So today I want to look at the article by Ali Joseph on Moana. I want to go to my vital source here first. All right, so in this article, they talk about the movie and what it represents. So it made a lot of money. It opened during Thanksgiving. And it made about $82 million. So that's significant in that a lot of people went to go see it. So I want to look at this quote here. It says, I took my children who are of mixed ethnicity, part Native American, African American, and white to see Moana last weekend. And I lamented that they would never understand how much progress this represents for the portrayal of indigenous people in mass media. True, they're little kids, and they should be expected to watch an animated film only with the limited scope and wonder of all children. But the experience impelled me to write about the swelling pride I felt during this film and how my late mother would have felt about it. So that's an interesting testimony about this movie, and I want you guys to kind of look at the images portrayed here in this picture, which is part of the movie. Um, you could definitely rent the movie if you wanted to see the whole thing. But according to this woman, she says that her mother had passed away 9 years ago and was a fierce advocate for equal and civil rights and outspoken about the horrible racist stereotypes of Native Americans, Black people, and other brown folks, specifically in Disney films. She might have actually tipped her hat to this one, as I did. Here's why. It's easy to see why most are loving on the film. This is the first time that a female Pacific Islander is the principal character of a major Disney animation film. She doesn't need a man. She sails her own boat. The ocean, which is a character in the film, loves and propels her. So even though these are very good testimonies, I want you to think about what your responses was to the idea of Disney doing this. And is Disney taking on a lot more than it needs to be? And because they seem to take on a lot of ethnicities and a lot of cultures. And I just want you to think about it. Now, here's another quote that says, what Disney got right was its portrayal of a strong teenage female character of color. Again, an indigenous person without a love interest. It is the first Disney film in which the heroine, a bona fide Disney princess, though she is, has no male suitor and is not interested in finding one. So, so Disney does sell the images of Cinderella and of finding a prince. With Snow White, Cinderella, traditionally they have, and now with Moana, they kind of took a big leap and did something completely different. Critics observe the corporate animation house stole brown people's cultures, mores, and identity to make a buck, and didn't fully consult them on content all the way through. The critics aren't wrong, but what they expect is not realistic. Making big studio features is a business proposition. Crafting a documentary that explores true culture and origins typically is not. So even though Disney does create a different sort of character, Disney is a big corporation. Disney makes a lot of money. And did they fully represent this character, or is it a made-up character for them just to make some money? So these are the things that I want you guys to think about. Did they just kind of abuse their privilege as being quote-unquote Disney to make this film? Here, there's a quote on paragraph 20 that kind of strikes out to me. It says, as Disney often does, the script is populated by characters that are a mashup of Pacific Island cultures and therefore are not as accurate as their representation as they could be. Disney made some early gaffes in the associated merchandise, like tattooed skin suit of Polynesian demigod Maui features in the film, and plastic toy figures that turn Pele, the Hawaiian fire goddess, is responsible for volcanoes, lightning, and wind, respectively referred by those in the culture into lava, which seem the film, which seen in the film. I actually looked at uh, costume and I put it on my desktop, and I'm just gonna kind of go in there. So I wanted you guys to take a look at this. This is the costume that they sell on Amazon for the movie Moana. So it's a tattooed costume and it has some plastic leaves. And people wear this, I guess, on Halloween. So it's kind of interesting that they have that on Amazon and people can buy that. So is it kind of ironic of Disney to be doing this? And they are selling the dolls and making a lot of money off the dolls, as well as making a lot of money off the movie. And that's what Disney does. It makes movies. Traditionally, Disney has made animations of different types of characters. Here's some past movies of Disney. So what is the impact that Disney really has on us, and our toys and our kids' lives? I want you to think about that. I also like this quote on paragraph 23. It says, the team behind Moana has taken great care to respect the cultures of the Pacific Islands that inspired the film, and we regret that Maui costume has offered some. We sincerely apologize and are pulling the costumes from our website and stores, but you can still buy them on Amazon today. So Disney started this whole idea and people just followed along. There's some pictures in your book about animation and storyline. So here's a quote. It says that the Little Mermaid, who sounded Jamaican and sang to the Princess Ariel, the life under the sea is better because no one has to have a job underwater. And from the way back machine, there were the 1941 crows in Dumbo who step and fetch, it talked, jive, and were unintelligent. The list goes on from Uncle Ramos into the racist and slutty Native American portrayals of Peter Pan and Aladdin. So what they're kind of questioning is, are these animations mocking the very ideal of the actual cultures and the people? Because what they're talking about here is these little little characters who try to talk like Step and Fetch. And so this whole idea of using children's TV shows as a way to supposedly look culturally balanced, but really are kind of abusing their privileges and their power to dominate over others. Just some things for you guys to think about. And we'll have a discussion about this and other ideas that come up in this chapter later. So I just want you to think about Disney and what it means to you, and what the whole idea of these princesses are. Why do we even have princesses in the first place? So just something for you guys to think about. And I'm going to go for now. Bye-bye.